What's up, everybody, and welcome to Naples, Florida. Today we're going to be showing you guys the destruction of Hurricane Ian in Naples, Florida, and how the recovery process is going. We're here off of Davis, east of US 41, where the city has already picked up many loads of garbage, and only the remains of what was here before are left. The vast majority of this community has already cleaned up, but as we're going to see, we're going to get a realistic view of Naples on this video and what's really happening here. I'm going to ask you guys, if you're not subscribed, to please subscribe to our channel. With the vast majority of the storm surge garbage cleaned up, this part of Naples is starting to come back to normal. Some people do have campers here because the inside of their house has to be completely gutted before they can move back in safely. And you can see some pumps here for the sewage. Perhaps they're trying to clean it up. Maybe they overflowed with water and they're trying to get that system all flushed out and ready to go. There's a small garbage pile. And guys, you can usually see the water line right there. That should give you an idea of how high the water was in this community. You can see all the way around this furniture, the water line. All that's already turned into mold, and you can see the water line right about there, all the way through. So if that was there inside the house, we can see that this whole community had about 2 feet of water clear across the entire neighborhood. A lot of people have said, well, the area impacted in Lee County was so much bigger than Collier. Actually, no. Naples had storm surge. All along the coast, it's urban. In Naples and Lee County, it's not. The Gordon River, Marco Island, Everglades City, Goodland, Shokoloski. Naples had a lot of storm surge damage. But most of the streets here are already cleaned up in this county. Don't assume that the area in Naples that was affected wasn't that big. It really was. You can see a lot of people have brought in campers for temporary housing while they restore their homes. East Naples, Bayshore. There were huge areas of storm surge in this county. I would definitely say that Collier County, despite having less property taxes than Lee County, had a much better response and cleanup effort, more organized, quicker, more effective. And while a lot of people are living in campers and stuff right now, but at least the garbage is gone. Alright guys, so we're right outside of downtown Naples. In fact, over there is 5th Avenue South. And we can see these buildings here, they had to cut all of the bottom out because of the storm surge that came through here. So this is all molded. You can see the mold already. Now, initially, right after the hurricane, you couldn't see the mold on the drywall. You couldn't see the corrosion on the metal. And a lot of people were wondering, well, why would you, blah, blah, blah. Why would you need blah, 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 to get rid of all this stuff? But now, you're starting to understand when you see the mold and the corrosion, why these people had to get rid of that. Now, construction and growth in Naples continues, and they're not stopping building a lot of stuff like this. And the mold absolutely stinks. It's horrible crap. You can see cranes working over there. Buildings going up here. And whatever type of remodel's going on here, you can see they cut out the bottom of the drywall, but not the top due to storm surge. Now, this is kind of interesting. It's like an old electric motor store, which is kind of odd because everything's so fancy here in Naples. So to see kind of something, this is like something you'd see in like maybe Alabama or like South Georgia. But to see this kind of older little mechanical store right here, it's kind of an interesting sight to behold in Naples. But as you can see, construction continues throughout the entire Naples area. And it is interesting that I've never noticed this building here, but it's kind of old and kind of reminiscent of the past. But they've had a lot of business lately. Naples had about 2 feet of water come through here, and most of these buildings had to cut off the bottom 2 feet of drywall. But it's back to normal. I mean, Naples is going to get running because there's a lot of money here and nothing's going to stop this place. So downtown Naples looks about the way it should for this time of year. Busy, packed, and well, it's almost hard to tell that there was 2 feet of water on these streets not that long ago, since pretty much it looks the way it always has. Fancy cars pulling up and fact, you can't even get a parking spot out here today. So I would say Naples, as far as downtown goes, it's pretty much back to normal. I had no idea Aston Martin made an SUV.
Apparently.
How much is it?
I don't know. We'll find out. There's probably an Aston Martin dealer in Sarasota.
Fort Lauderdale.
Well, we can still go there.
I'm almost certain Naples is snobber than Sarasota. Because we've been hanging out in downtown Sarasota, and there's rich people, but they're not like completely snobbed out. Like you come here, and it's just like a whole different type of snobby feel. You know what I mean?
There's too many diamonds here.
Yeah, encrusted. People are going on the beach. It's crazy. They're all swimming. Look, that's crazy. That is wild. See here, just kind of the destruction from storm surge, and there's still garbage. And there's still some damages here along this beautiful house on the water. And just so you guys understand, this real estate is in the millions of millions. I can't believe how many people are actually going to the beach. Even though pretty much this looks exactly, we were here about, I guess, a week after the hurricane. And this looks about identical to what it did then. There's people have kind of created a little path. And a lot of people that are here, I can hear like other languages. So they're obviously not... obviously not, you know, like Floridians, they're from other countries, but there's clearly a sign saying do not go in the water. I mean, there's sewage in the water, and as you can hear, there's people speaking all types of different languages, so they're obviously not even probably able to read these signs. Despite the fact that there's signs telling people not to go in the water because there's sewage, there's the bacteria that eats, you know, human eating bacteria. There's sewage. There are still people in the water, unbelievably. And I don't think these people, ever since that whole thing happened on the other side of the world, people from over there have been coming over here like crazy. The water does look pretty much clear. You can see little redfish swimming right there on the side of the water. The water actually stinks horrendously. It's not welcoming. It's actually like, it takes your breath away in a bad way. But notice a lot of these people, they're not even from here. They're from other countries. So they're not like people that live here. They're people coming from other parts of the world. We'll skip whatever they got going on. And they've landed here somehow. But it's interesting that despite, you know, the warnings to stay out of the water, there's red tide. Now, they haven't been taking too many readings in this area. See what's left of the Naples Pier over there in the distance. Notice I say what's left of it. It's just crazy that with how bad this water smells, and with the warning signs that there's this many people actually swimming in the water. If you look off into the distance, there's a lot of people actually absolutely wild that despite the signs, the fact that there's red tide in Southwest Florida, despite the fact the water stinks and there's signs saying there's sewage in it, and all the debris that washed back into the water, you can get cut, you can get hurt. People are absolutely, a lot of these very expensive homes along the water, they just boarded them up. They haven't really started cleaning them up yet. Keep in mind, you're talking about properties that are into the millions before you touch the house. Just the land is into the millions. But quite the sight to behold here on this not so attractive Maybe day. They could find another language to put this sign up in and might make a difference. But and the parking spot that we're in now, somebody was kind of illicitly blocking the parking spot, so I couldn't really park completely. Couldn't really park in the parking spot because people had kind of left stuff there blocking in the parking spot. But I don't give a crap. I just parked however I could. I can't believe, what do you think, Katie? These people, there's signs saying that there's sewage, there's debris, there's all types of warning signs, and there's still people swim. By the way, not a single one of these people looks like they're from here. They're all like from the other side of the world. Probably escaping whatever's going on over there. I can tell you that Sarasota has more money than Naples, or about the same type of money, but dude, these people here are so snobby and pedante. What is the English word for pedante? I think it's like, what are you doing? You're putting your car in reverse? Okay, they're going for this parking spot. Which isn't a parking spot, by the way. Is it? Is it? Maybe? Dude, I'm going to tell you, when I make my top 10 snobbiest places in Florida,
This is number one.
this is number one. I'm telling you. Because we've been in Sarasota now for 3 weeks, and I've noticed that most of the people that are road raging in Sarasota are actually the builders and the contractors. It's not like the regular people. Well, the storm surge here just killed off a lot of the grass, so a lot of people are just having to redo their whole lawns. Alright, so we found a parking spot. Guys, you can literally feel the red tide. You can smell it. The good thing is there weren't wind damages in this area considerably at all. It was all mostly storm surge. You can actually smell the red tide. I can't believe there's actually people in the water. On Board Street, which is just south of the pier. And you can see that not every effort's been made yet to clean up Naples since the storm. I'm pretty sure technically nobody's supposed to be on the water. But who's going to stop a bunch of people from other countries from coming up in here and doing other crap they want? I'm not really sure if you are or not. But let's get up near the beach and see if we can see what's going on over here. You can see there's just a random refrigerator. Very odd sight to see in Naples. Just a random refrigerator. There's Freon inside the refrigerator, so the county won't pick that up. That's going to be like a whole different pickup. Naples has really gone to crap. I mean, even before the hurricane, it just isn't what it used to be. Somehow this deck is still here to get on the beach. Let's see if we can get through. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Look, this little thing made it somehow. There's a Naples Pier right there. And again, the signs that people seem to ignore. Side homes still showing some damages here. And here's what's left of the Naples Pier. You'll see countless private jets coming into Naples. Just think about the type of money it takes to fly on a private jet. Well, despite the signs of don't get into the water, people are in the water, and it does look clear here. It's not St. Petersburg clear, it's not Clearwater clear, but it's, for Naples, it's actually the cleanest I've seen this water in a very long time. The birds don't seem to mind the fact the pier is broken to crap. And there's maybe half the crowd you would normally see out here, or 45-50% of the crowd, maybe 55% of the crowd. It's not the full crowd you see out here, but there's still definitely a lot of people on the beach. And in some places you can actually smell it. It's not really the most pleasant beach experience. More private jets landing right in Naples. There's a lot of private jets coming into the city. That's a different type of money right there. That's what you understand in Naples, that just about every few minutes a private jet lands through here. That's a different type of money. That's not a normal quantity of money. I mean, you know, you're talking, even millionaires sometimes opt out of that option of getting a private jet and just find something cheaper. You can certainly travel in class without having to go that far, but that's the type of money that comes to Naples. Private jet money. Lots of private jet money. This pretty much stinks. It's kind of really nasty puddle of water underneath the pier that's been created here, and there's actually people swimming in it. As disgusting as it smells and as dirty as it looks, wow, the notion that you could swim in this crap. They're blocking access to the pier over there with sheets of plywood. In case you pass that, there's another fence. Naples Pier. doesn't look like much has been done to it since the hurricane. It's just sitting there. And honestly, I think they're gonna keep it closed all season on purpose, just so they don't have to deal with all the stupid tourists that come out here on the pier. But that might just drive the tourists in the other parts of the city. I don't think there's a way to stop the stupidity from unfolding out here. All right, guys, I can barely breathe, so let me get the crap up out of here. And you guys know I like to exaggerate crap, but it really does stink out here. It's not unbearable, but it's definitely not pleasant either. I'll say the birds don't seem to mind the situation. I think they've taken a liking to it. And this is nothing new here in Naples. In fact, Naples Pier was built in the late 1800s, and since it was being built, it's been knocked down by many hurricanes. The only difference now is instead of it being used as a fishing pier, it's not even called a fishing pier anymore. It used to be called a fishing pier. Now they call it a tourist pier. But well, it's pretty much, now they can call it a pelican pier because, well, there's no tourist on it either. It used to be for boats to resupply Naples. That time is gone. It used to be for fishing. Those times are gone. Now it's the Naples Pelican Pier. And mostly South Americans and Europeans here today. That's Naples money right there in the air, flying in. I'm gonna guess by the amount of women out here in Scampily Scamps, the search for sugar grampies continues. The search for sugar grampies continues. I'm gonna say these tourists are unfazed by the fact the water's contaminated, it stinks, and you can barely breathe. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Naples has a trashier aspect than Miami these days. And I'm not even saying it to be offensive, I'm just being straight up honest. It really feels trashy. There's another private jet over there. It really just feels trashy. Like people are just talking loud and just, you know, they stand in the way and they're kind of obnoxious and just, this is like nothing like the Naples that it used to be. It's just a different type of other place money that's just a little bit more obnoxious. I'm glad I'm not here anymore. Dust in the air, loud, obnoxious tourists. This place has gone to crap. There's still debris out and about, mud on the sidewalks, dust everywhere. Call destruction tourism. I'm gonna call this destruction tourism. Everybody out with their phones. It's almost like they came here to see the destruction. And maybe lose some breath. And the amount of flies, no-see-ums, and mosquitoes that are swarming all over you is kind of like, doesn't feel like a day by the beach. It feels like a day by the mangroves. Just take a look at what's inside these garages out here, bro. The amount of flies, no-see-ums, and mosquitoes. Stuff inside these garages is insane. So you guys can get an idea of how many no-see-ums and mosquitoes are on. Take a close look. This Corvette was wet too. I thought this one hadn't, but you can see they got the hood open. So just in this garage here, there might be a 500,000 damages out here. Wild. People, they don't stop for stop signs. They don't stop for pedestrians, nothing. I mean, it's just, Naples used to be a classy, clean place, man. But it's really gone to crap. I mean, it's not just a hurricane. It's the type of tourists that are coming here, the type of people that are moving here. Like, I live in Sarasota now, and there's a lot of money in Sarasota, but it's clean money. It's decent money. This place, I don't know what the crap, man. This place has just become a kind of like a dumping, like a sewage for Miami. Like all the crap, all the bad elements that were in Miami just kind of hopped on over here. I'm trying to hold the camera still, but there's so many no-see-ums in my face. Just show you guys how bad the no-see-ums are out here. And the flies out. Private jet, baby! Now for the next year, all you're gonna hear is the tormenting sound of leaf blowers, chainsaws, tile cutting machines. It's just 20, it's a tormenting sound of construction equipment. I mean, it's tormenting to listen to hear the people here say, oh, we're becoming Miami. I'm like, that would be an improvement at this point. If this became Miami, it would be an improvement. But guys, as you can hear in the background, the tormenting sound of engines and towel cutting machines. These people were able to clean it up nice and pretty. It's a tormenting sound of private jets, leaf blowers, generators, giant equipment. And this is on a Sunday. Okay, imagine this on a weekday. It's weird that I always dreamed of being able to live in Naples like a decent person. Now that I can afford it, I wouldn't want to touch this place with a 10-foot pole, man. It had been my dream to live in Naples. I used to live in Naples. I lived in Naples for like 20-some years. But I lived in a trashy ghetto trailer park, I had always dreamed of being able to live in Naples, like Naples, the real Naples. And now I can afford it. And let me tell you, dude, I would not want to live here for crap. It's Sunday, and they got people out here working like animals. Conmigo no. So I just paid the lawyer. You guys were wondering what happened with my ticket here in Naples. Well, I'll tell you what happened with my ticket here in Naples. The lawyer that I hired must have been buddies with the judge and the cop, because I ended up, instead of getting the ticket thrown out, having to pay like another $500 extra. And that's Naples. I told the lawyer to just review the footage, because they have cams on those vehicles. And he said, it doesn't matter what happened, Jose. I mean, what do you mean it doesn't matter what happened? The lawyer says, yeah, it doesn't matter what happened. What happened is irrelevant. What happens is that you are Jose Rodriguez, and you are in Collier County. And in Collier County, you have like a dark cloud over your name here. I said, what do you mean? I don't have any criminal records. I've never been arrested. He says, yeah, oh, this stinks so bad. Oh, that stinks so bad. Oh, there's like literally like food in there. That is disgusting. Oh, oh, wow, that is disgusting. There must be food in there. Dude, this is like the most foul thing I've ever smelled. Oh yeah, there's food. Look at that. That right there is food. I want to buy one of these things. About 100 grand. I can convince Kay to let me buy it, because she's like, it's a lot of money, Jose. I'm not sure. But as you can see, they were pretty friendly. I coughed and they said, bless you. I'm like, oh, okay. Bless me for coughing. Okay. Get me the crap out of here so I don't cough anymore. That's what the crap I need. But as you can see, guys, this wall here fell. It must have been the storm surge. That's probably the storm surge when it ran in or ran out. It was probably when the storm surge pushed back out. Maybe when it pushed in, it kind of bent it a little bit. And then when it pushed back out, it was just too much for it to handle. And the storm surge knocked down this wall here. Private jets every few minutes, as you can see. I'm trying to stay moving as much as possible so that the no-sims don't eat me alive. Alleyways here in Naples, and this is where they were putting out most of the garbage. Seems like they've cleaned up most of it. Some of it will probably take a while to clean up, but it's crazy how some of these people from other places are still coming here for tourism, despite the fact it's quite the unpleasant experience to be here. It stinks. There's no-sims, mosquitoes. There's signs letting you know that there's harmful stuff in the water. There could be glass in that water. There could be anything. And despite all that, people are still coming out here as if this was a sight to behold or something. I wouldn't want to be here for anything. Just to give you guys an idea, these properties here are into the dozens of millions. It doesn't look like it. But being within walking distance of the Naples Pier, somebody could easily pay 15, 20, 25, 30 million. There's no real definite number to what these properties are worth. But I want to show you this little house on this alleyway here. I've always liked this cute little house. But you can tell that the storm surge came up to here. You can actually see right there, you can see the water line. right there. That will give you an indication of how high the storm surge came through here. You can see the mark on the building right there. That's how high the water came. You know, right there, all through there. Means that, you know, they're gonna have to. They have the windows open to air it out. Dude, the amount of no-sims and mosquitoes is just unreal. But Naples is a beautiful city, kind of historic. Old money's been here since, you know, the time of. The city was founded by people from Louisville, Kentucky. Came down here. The guy that ran the Louisville Courier, which was a newspaper for Louisville, Kentucky. In the late 1800s, they kind of set up shop out here. This would have been an absolutely unimpenetrable jungle back then. In fact, even into like the 1920s, I think US 41 was nothing more than a wagon trail, or kind of like just a dirt trail. So, you know, those were definitely primitive times. As I'm walking through here, I see a cloud of no-see-ums that are following me around, and I feel like they're just waiting for me to stop so they can bite me. But if even though it's breezy, which is the crazy thing, is that there's actually a little bit of a breeze. I would imagine that when this breeze disappears, that these no-see-ums will become absolutely more unbearable. I mean, with this, you can see the palm trees are moving. So if the palm trees are moving, that's fancy ride right there. What are you, the owner of Walmart or something with that brown orange? So with that watermark we saw, we can imagine that about 3 to 4 feet of water would have covered the street in most of Naples. And they have cleaned up most of it. They're still working. Even he got that squat right there. Yeah, buddy. I tell you what, you gotta put some thing to 12 by 26 down there. I figure if it's this noisy and unbearable here on a Sunday, can you imagine this place? Could you just imagine this place on a like Monday or something? Guys, this is a Sunday. Let's take the sidewalk here. What I find very interesting is mostly Colombia and a country that is on the northern part of Asia. Seems to be the most prevalent people here. So it seems like people are just kind of running away from whatever's happening over there and saying, you know what? We got some money. Let's come over here, this little coastal community. And I wouldn't doubt a lot of them are looking at real estate. Yeah, I think they're arriving by the private jet load out here, man. And they're loud and obnoxious. They're just like, you know, like, dude, like, I guess different countries have different cultures. And what we Americans considered uncultured, like, in other countries is acceptable. But I'm gonna tell you, man, if you go to a different country, try to at least learn some of their way. I can another no-see-um stuck in my mouth. Another thing that I haven't mentioned is how hot and humid it is. If you could just see my hand, give you an idea of how much sweat. You're just covered in sweat. This is very uncomfortable. I can't believe people actually want to be here. How can these people stand to be out here? It's like unbearable.
I don't know, but I know somewhere cold we could go.
Somewhere cold and comfortable? Oh, yeah. Man, I'm just not in the mood for driving that far north right now.
Oh, we're not going. We're going to Tampa a month from today to watch a hockey game.
I don't like football.
Hockey. It's a whole different sport.
It's a whole what?
A whole different sport.
Like pimping?
It's on an ice rink, Jose.
Oh. Why the crap would we go to a hockey game?
Because the Tampa Bay Lightning are playing the Detroit Red Wings.
I'm sorry to hear that. So right after the hurricane, there was just piles. You couldn't even see this building. I mean, literally the garbage piles would come up to these palm trees. And now the garbage piles are gone, but the unsightly mess is left behind. What I want you guys to understand about what happened here is the following. The storm surge here came above these pallets of pavers. And you can tell because, well, the storm surge debris is on top of these pavers. So we're talking the storm surge here came up, would have been pretty much to those windows there, I guess, or higher. being that if there's storm surge debris, this is all floated up here. All this debris that you see here, look at this. All this floated up here. All this, you find all types of stuff in here. I don't know what this is. Hope it's not a 10. All this debris that you're looking at here, all this here floated up here. Just give you an idea. What's up, buddy? In some places, you can still see the sand piles of, how high the sand came as well, because this stuff had sand in it. We've been now in Southwest Florida doing these videos for well over a month. We're into week 5 or 6 of the situation. So, like, when you live here in Naples and you're not the tourist and you're constantly dealing with that pressure, at some point you might snap and be like, what are you looking at? What do you want, Because with reason, you know what I mean? With reason. But that's just why it just reminds me why I left Naples, bro. Alright, so we're in Naples and there's a boat dock. I'm gonna guess the storm surge brought this here. But as you can see, there's literally a boat dock. And if you look around, there's literally, there might be canals around the back or something, but there's literally no way. This thing literally just had to flow here with the storm surge. So that's just give you an idea that now there's a boat dock on somebody's front lawn, That is wild. Like, how did this even happen? Storm surge. Huge boat dock on somebody's front lawn. Incredible. That's what we're dealing with here in Naples. Living here in Naples is just unbearable. Even areas that had storm surge have already cleaned up, and it's looking pretty again.